Hey guys, V Man from No Budget Productions here. It's been a while since I have done a live stream. Um, I don't really have much to say, and I've been focused a lot on my health, a lot on my family. But I had something to say here. Um, had a reason to come back on and chat with you guys for a bit. I understand for some of you it might be kind of late. It's okay. Some of you guys will catch this on the rewind. Um, so that's okay. But one of my friends and people in the fan film community is releasing a film soon. It's called Blue Nose. Um, and you guys know this person by the name of Sean Reimer. He played or plays Chris Sanders in the Constar films. In the 25th century or late 24th century, early 25th century, he plays the captain of the Constar B. Uh, he's kind of a thorn in Menard's side in the uh, mid to late 24th century. Um, but they kind of overcome their differences at some point, and then eventually he gets the captaincy of the Constar. Uh, hey, Daniel Vance. He said, I had the pleasure of seeing 20 minutes sneak peek of Blue Nose today. Looking forward to seeing the looking forward to the premiere. Yeah, I heard there was a little bit of an accident on that. I still have not seen it. Pardon me, guys. I'm getting over a cold. Kind of kicked my ass a couple of weeks ago, and it's still kind of lingering around. It's not COVID or nothing. It's just a simple cold. Um, but no, I heard there was a problem a problem with that. And but I had asked Chris if I could, Chris, I had asked Sean if I could see an early copy of it. He said that he was really excited, didn't really want to share it. He wanted to build the hype of it, and I figured I could come on here and talk about the video that I hadn't seen, or try to hype everyone up and go, hey guys, go watch it. But yeah, that's really not my style. I'm more of a talker with people, and chatting, and just tell people what's on my mind and what's from my heart. And looking at the trailer that he had from a couple months ago, and just thinking of all the times that I've spent talking with Chris up at late hours, just bullshitting with him, and talking about fan film stuff. I got to thinking about, why do I respect this guy so much? Why do I love the guy like I do? Because I do. I love a lot of people in the fan film community a lot. Um, and it's hard to believe, like I've been retired from fan films for 2 years now. I watched earlier tonight my retirement roundtable, and it was 2 years ago. Now, of course, I went and shot something for Josh for the Crisis that he released, and I've done, I think, maybe two other things, small little cameo things for people. But for the most part, for someone who's done 25 films a year, um, shrinking them down to you know uh, three cameos in 2 years, that's not, that's pretty close to retirement. Um, but it's weird because Chris was one of those people when I was doing the Constar films. He was so happy that we had given him a character to play, and fit him in, and listened to his ideas for story, and gave him the freedom uh, to play with the character. You know, um, and I try to do that with all of my actors. Give them the freedom to make the character their own. And Chris just took that freedom and ran with it. Um, and uh, the one thing that he did that not a lot of people do, um, Oh, yeah. Daniel Vance says Sean Reimer is Chris Sanders in Blue Nose. For anyone wondering why he keeps saying Chris. Yeah, if I flip flop back between saying Chris and saying Sean, um, yeah, forgive me. Like I'm so used to talking to people in character, you know. I especially Sean. So if I do that here, forgive me, guys. Plus, I'm I'm tired as hell. I only got like 3 hours sleep last night, so I'm really tired. So if I do that, forgive me. But the one thing that Sean has done that not a lot of people have done is completely independently made their own fan film. A lot of people talk the game, and they just make it, in front of a green screen, not doing much of anything. Uh, you know, um, and anybody can kind of do that. I've made that, I've made that film a dozen times over. Um, but he throws himself into the project. Like this guy, he's gone out and filmed in the snow. He's gone out and filmed in the woods. He really gets physical with his acting, and he's so talented on what he wants to do, and he really knows the vision for his own films that he wants. Um, and he's so creative. And when he ran the idea of what he wanted to do for Blue Nose, past me, and of course I didn't know the name of the film. He ran the idea past me, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. I like it a lot. Um, and it was a great precursor to Constar, the motion picture, which is something that we're going to be filming the final pieces for next Friday. Um, and he's one of the people that are coming to the set to film with us. Um, which it's going to be great to finally meet him. He's the Constar filming is um, basically kind of a family reunion of sorts for all of us who haven't seen each other in a long time. When I retired, I hadn't seen most of the people in 2 3 years, and it's been 2 years since I retired, so it's been a good 4 or 5 years since I've seen some of the people, and some of them that are showing up to set, I've never met, except for online or through a roundtable discussion, but with modern technology, it's easy to feel like you have met these people. Technology nowadays, it's easy to be connected to somebody if you want to. Um, but knowing what he was doing for the film Blue Nose, um, I was intrigued, and that's when you guys watch the film. I think you guys are going to see something that's very much Chris, or Sean. Forgive me, Sean. um, Speaking of Sean, hello, man. How are we doing, brother? I'm chatting you up, my friend. Um, I wanted to give you a shout out uh, in my own way, um, since I haven't seen the film, and kind of tell everyone why they should watch your film when you release it. And if I'm not, Daniel Vance says, cheers, Sean Reimer. Um, but like I said, when he ran the idea past me, I was like, that's pretty clever because not a lot of people have done the style of film that he's done in Blue Nose, and it's just like with his other films. They're very distinctly him. The visual, the writing, the humor, um, and it's one of those things where it's just like with a Vance film, you can look at them and go, "This isn't Star Trek." But I think to those people that say those things about a Vance film, or in this case, a Sean Reimer film, um, you've missed the point if you're looking at it from a purely physical outlook. I think you've missed the point. Like if you watch the story for what it is, you see beyond just the physical, you know. Like the fact that in my films, like you'll see sneakers on the Starfleet officers, um, or the fact that we always seem to stick that damn chair in a Sean film. You know, if you watch a Sean film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And now it's kind of the inside joke, you know, to see the chair in a Sean film. It's kind of like Menard with the Hawaiian Punch hat. Daniel Vance knows exactly what I'm talking about. And trust me, Daniel Vance, I'm still trying to work that Hawaiian Punch hat is a shapeshifter. I'm trying to work that in somehow. I got to talk to Josh on that, but stay tuned. I'm trying to work that in. If I can work it out, you may see something in Constar the Motion Picture. So fingers crossed. um, but we the thing about Sean is he's always taken pride in the fact that he does these films, and again he makes them his own, and but he always respects um, the stories that came before, the people that have come before, but he's not afraid to take a risk and step out and do something different, and add to the universe that's been created. Um, you know, in all of his films, he always puts, you know, the characters created by Vance Major, but you know, the thing is, like, it's that's more of like an honorary thing to say, you know, because really, like, these films are him, you know. And when it says no budget productions, again, I feel honored that he puts that logo on there, because that's all 100% him. And that's one of the reasons why I respect him so much, is because he gives so much credit and reverence to, you know, that which has come before. And I see a lot of myself in that, where, like, when I look to Michael King, because I have so much respect for that guy, and I look to Sean, and I see a lot of myself in that, where, you know, it's this is the way fan film should be, showing respect to those and then building your own legacy. And I don't know, I hope that Blue Nose isn't the final Chris Sanders films, because I think that after you guys watch Constar the Motion Picture, I think there's room for another Chris Sanders story. Um, I certainly have something in my head for where I would like the character to go. Um, which may be a little different than what Sean would want, but I think after you guys watch you know, Blue Nose, and then in December watch Constar the Motion Picture, I think you guys will see how both stories complement each other really well. And uh, again, Blue Nose is, and every film that Chris has done is 100% him, and he didn't have to do any of it. And because of that, like, that's why I respect Sean the most. Um, because he didn't have to do anything. Most people just sit on their hands, and he doesn't. He goes out there, and, you know, if something doesn't look right, he goes and redoes it. You know, Sean says there needs to be a piece of me in everything I make. It's my obligation to show some part of my brain or some part of my world in my films and acting. People appreciating that is the best feeling. No, you're absolutely right, man. That's it's it's one of the things I do in my films. I put, like, real world elements that, you know, from my past in my films, you know, whether it's conversations or inspiration from events that have happened, or people that I know are inspired with people that, you know, that I put in the films, or characters that are in the films. You know, everything is relatable in that way, and I think that shows. And it's the same thing with your films. Like, I could definitely tell that it's written, like, all I gotta do is close my eyes and listen to a film, and I go, oh, that's a Sean film. You know, it's kind of like a Kevin Smith film, when, you know, you're like, oh, you know, you close your eyes and you listen to it, and you're like, oh, that's a Kevin Smith film, because he said cock knocker, you know. And that's the same thing with you, man. I can always tell it's a Sean film because of how they speak, you know, and the sarcasm. As Sean says, Blue Nose is me challenging myself to do everything I can: acting, writing, directing, editing, revisiting my experience doing VFX, even most of the other characters. I needed to prove myself to me. I hope. Again, I haven't seen the film. All I have is seen the trailer, and I've heard your enthusiasm from it. Um, and I hope everybody shows up. I think it's 3 days time. I think it's Friday when it is playing. I hope everyone comes to the premiere. I haven't shared it like I was supposed to this past, like, work has really kicked my ass. Um, and so like when I was on the weekend, like I only had one day, so it was, of course, family time. But I'm going to start sharing it this week, trying to get everybody excited, or at least, those that I can. But I hope we have a fun time, um, at the premiere, because I, I want to be there for it. And, if I'm not too busy at work, you know. Hey, Dan Braylon says, "What's up?" Hey, what's up, guy? This guy right here has done, I'd say, probably 95% of the CGI in the Constar the motion picture. And this guy is one of the best out there. I love this guy's work. He's done visual effects on Crossroads. He's done, well, not visual, it's CGI on Crossroads. He's done CGI on Rain Cross. I mean, he's just a jack of all trades. I mean, he's awesome. If you guys ever want to go look at some great CGI, I can't talk this guy up enough. And I feel like such a douchebag because sometimes I'm like, "Hey, can I get one more shot?" And he's like, "Okay," and then he does it. He's so fucking awesome. I can't talk him up enough. And he's one of those guys where, um, he never asks for anything in return. He just happy to help. And it's very rare these days. But that's one of the things that I appreciate in fan films is, people helping people, geeks helping geeks. It's what I've kind of built my relationship on people with. And he's one of those people, a good guy to know. He's staying up. Yeah, that's a lot of us in right now. Um, you're welcome, man. Like, I'm just speaking the truth. That's the thing about doing. A lot of people put on a persona when they get on here, and I don't do that. I just speak my mind. Sometimes it makes people mad, but I'm always honest on what I'm talking. Um, but I'm just speaking my mind, man, and it's honestly how I feel. You've done, you, Joy Benoist, um, so many other people, Lee Gartrell, over the course of my 165 films that I've done. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for people like you helping me out. You know, um, the actors, same thing. I wouldn't be where I'm at. Everyone gives, it's like I'm up there. It's kind of like people put William Shatner up on a pedestal, because he's Captain Kirk. But it's like there's hundreds and hundreds of people that make Star Trek. And it's the same thing with the Constar stuff. Like, I may be the face of Constar stuff, but it's you guys that make the stuff tick. You guys make it go. So no, thank you. And I mean it, you guys. You are one of the best out there. In terms of CGI stuff, you really are. So Sean says, "I really appreciate you making this stream. This was a huge surprise to have your support for these projects. Keeps me going every day. Seriously, thank you." Oh, it's my pleasure, man. Like, I mean, I'd like to, like, when I was walking out to my car for my break, like, I was thinking about, what should I stream? Because I wanted to do something talking about the Constar, the motion picture, but I was like, nah, it's self-serving. I don't want to fucking do that. I mean, I figure we'll be doing stuff when we get to the studio talking about, the Constar, the motion picture, and I'll let you guys talk when we're doing the kind of behind the scenes stuff. I really don't want to be in front of the camera talking too much, because it's like people have heard my voice way too much. No one needs to fucking hear me. you know, I'll let you guys talk. You guys, get to talk about your experience, being on set and whatnot. Um, but then I thought, well, Blue Nose is coming out. I respect him as a filmmaker and all the stuff he's done, his accomplishments, and I thought, well, that's something to talk about. It's something worth saying, And I thought, maybe every once in a while I'll start talking about, just the different people and why I respect them. Like, why I respect Gary Davis, or why I respect Josh Irwin, or why I respect, hell, Dan Braylon, or why I respect, you know, uh, Michael King, just because there's so much negativity out there in the fucking fan film community from certain people, but why not put some positivity out there, and just talk some good, be honest about the stuff about, why you like people's work or why you like them as people, you know, and like I said, uh, to Dan a few minutes ago, it's all true, you know. I'm not saying this to kiss your ass or nothing, but I love and respect what you do, Sean. Um, the fact you took it upon yourself to make something, and you didn't care. You were just like I was when I first started. When I first started, nobody wanted to fucking watch my films. Nobody wanted me in their films. I was just a fat guy in a Star Trek outfit. Nobody wanted me to be an extra. And now, it's like I've had to turn people down since I retired. You know, um, and this past year has been nothing but a father-son experience. Me showing Royce how to do a green screen, me showing Royce how to direct, actually direct and do cinematography and set the cameras up. And now he's super excited to go to the studio because he understands all the behind the scenes stuff now, and I'm a much different person than I was 11 years ago when I started this, and I've met so many awesome people like, Daniel Vance here in the chat, who's I think one of, probably, in the top 10 of our number one fans, I mean, you're there every time I'm on, Daniel, and then Dan Braylon, I never would have met him if I didn't do fan films. And I mean, you blow me away every time I see your stuff, man. And then you, Sean, like, I mean, who would have thought me stalking you on Facebook in a costume group would have ended up, one of my good dear friends, um, but no, I hope people go watch your movie, man. I hope it's a great premiere, and I'm excited myself to go see it. Because when when there's good fan films out there, that's awesome. Hell, even when there's a bad fan film out there, fuck, man, that's awesome. Because that means people are doing something. And there's so many people out there that never get past just thinking about doing something, and they never do it. They never even try. And my thing has always been fucking just go try. So I'm very proud of you, man. So, but anyway, I've been jibber jabbering here for 20 minutes. I'll let you guys go, but I want to thank you guys for joining me. Oh, I have new comments. I didn't see these. I'm sorry, guys. Dan Braylon says, check your email. I sent you the stuff you needed. Oh, awesome. I will. And I want to apologize, Dan. If I don't ever respond to something, it's either because I'm sleeping and I didn't catch it. And that happens a lot. Like a lot of times I'll check my email or my messages and I don't respond because I'm half asleep. And then when I wake back up, I don't realize I've got a message. So if that's ever the case, just message me again, man. It's never personal, and I do that all the time to people. So it's never personal, man. So just bug me again and remind me, be like, hey, fathead, fucking check your shit. So I'll go check that out, man. But I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. And a lot of times, like I'll fucking download something without realizing, And I mean, I'm sitting there, my people at work will message me something, and I'll be like, okay. And then they'll be like, well, you messaged me. I'm like, I don't remember that, just because it's like I'm half asleep. So I apologize, man. But I'll go check that. Daniel Vance says the sneak peek only made me more excited for the premiere. I thought my internet went out, and when it went down, the disappointment set in, and I realized the video went private. On the plus side, I still had internet. Well, and that's awesome. If you didn't have internet, we wouldn't be talking to you now, Daniel Vance. So I'm glad you're excited for the premiere, man. That's awesome. I'm see, and that makes me disappointed that I wasn't around when it was there because like I said, I bugged Sean asking for if I could watch it, and he was like, "No, I kind of want to wait on this." And I'm like, "Dude, really? People in the industry share shit with each other. What the fuck, dude? But it's whatever. It makes me more excited to go see it. So Sean says, "Sorry, Daniel. God, I really messed that." It's okay. It's okay, Sean. Shit happens. Dan says, well, thanks for putting up with me. I know I could be an ass, so cheers. I think we all could be an ass sometimes, Dan. It's okay, man. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Much love and respect, man. It's all good. Daniel says, it was a perfect screw up. It only heightened anticipation. And that's the way it should be, man. It's like me, man. Like I can see spoilers for a movie, and it doesn't bother me one bit. I'll still go see the movie. Like a couple people had spoiled some things for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was so fucking psyched to still go see it because I was like, "Fuck it, who cares?" It's just like watching a movie, that you've seen over and over and over. Like you still pop it in and have those, guilty pleasures of a movie. It's like we watch the same movie over and over. I mean, how many times have we seen, you know, uh, how many times have we seen Batman 1989, or Ghostbusters? We still go watch it, even though we've seen it before, So those people that get mad at spoilers, my I disagree with them, because it's like, if you're excited about a movie, you're gonna be excited. Fuck the spoilers, who cares? So I agree with your sentiment of a perfect screw up. I think it's a great way to put it, man. So, but anyway, to you three that have joined me, I'm glad I got to hang out with you for a little bit tonight. To those that are watching this on the rewind, sorry I missed you. I'll probably do a couple more of these videos from time to time. Um, Whenever the mood strikes, no set pattern or nothing. Um, just whenever the mood hits, and I feel like talking about somebody or somebody has like an accomplishment, I feel like, giving credit where credit's due on something. Just because I always try to keep it real with you guys, and like I said, I haven't been on in a while, and I don't want to do anything that is, a set schedule, or something where YouTube becomes a job at that point, because I really, for those that don't know, um, when I got back from vacation, I weighed 302, and now I'm uh, 279. So I have lost 24 pounds, and or no, 303. Yeah, it was 303, and I'm 279. So I went up a little bit because we just had this weekend, and Royce and I had guys' night, so I indulged a little bit. So I'm up back up to 284, but nothing, it's not like I'm gorging. Um, but I've been able to maintain. I never go above 285. I always go back down. Um, but I have been able to lose weight, get my health under control. Um, Dan Braylen's and Sons glasses, awesome, awesome. Um, Daniel Vance says, if you want to pass the time waiting for the premiere, need to start your fixtures. Kind just dropped a new episode, and that was a great fucking episode too. By the way, I liked it. He messaged me and let me know that that was out. Again, a lot of things get past me with me working so much. I never have the time to watch it unless someone messages me directly and says, "Hey, fucker, watch this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," you know. So I was glad he did that. So yeah, go out. If you don't know what it is, go type in Starship Antilles, and it's spelled Antyluss. I think is how you spell it. Just either that, or type in George Cayenne, which it's right there on the screen if you need to know how to spell it. But either way, YouTube will help you out. Um, Typing in Starship Antilles. um, it should help you figure out. And I'm pretty sure if you type in Starship Antilles fan film, it'll help you out with a automatic spelling there. Um, Dan Brinlinson's another sunglasses again. Sean Reimer says, "Have a good night, everyone. Blue Notes premieres 3 p.m. Mountain Time this Friday." Awesome. Well, we will be there, my friend. Daniel Vance says, "Congrats, V-Man." And then Daniel Vance has this in the chat. So I have that up on the screen. If you guys want to type that in there, of course, you can't click on the link on my thing there, but you can go on the chat and click on the link there. So, but yeah. So I've been busy with personal stuff, and I don't get on YouTube as much as I used to, and I don't make things a regular occurrence because again, YouTube for a while was just becoming like a job, kind of like fan films were becoming like a job. And that's why, like, I haven't discussed anything about Constar, the motion picture. Like, you'll see pictures on the channel on the community tab, but I haven't discussed it with anybody really. And there's a really big surprise. The only one that really knows about it are the cast members and Dan Braylon. There's a surprise in the last two scenes. toward the end of the movie. Uh, yeah, which would be the last two scenes. And I'm kind of just sitting on it. I'm not gonna I'm gonna wait for everyone to watch the movie. But there's no, like, I'm very excited to show you guys what it is. I know Daniel Vance is probably thinking, all right, that's the Hawaiian Punch hat turned shapeshifter. And we'll have to see. Um, but yeah, when something gets to be more of a job than actually having fun, that's usually time to stop. And that's where things were with you too. And that's where things were with fan films. That's why I was glad to take the year off, or well, the time off for that year. And then when Picard season 3 came out, I felt inspired to do a father son movie, and then see who else was interested in coming back to do, be part of the father son movie with Royce. Um, I was deeply honored that they decided to come back. Those that I wanted in the film, or I felt deserve, not deserve. That's too high and mighty of a phrase. Those that I felt belonged in the story, because I didn't want to shoehorn people in just to put them in there. Because of course you could have a cameo fest of everybody in fan films, and that what would be the point? But I really wanted to serve the story, because at the heart, Constar the Motion Picture is a father-son story, and over the course of the year, it was how I taught Royce how to light a green screen. Was how I taught Royce how to properly set up a uh, establishing shot for a scene, and how to end the scene, and then do all the in betweens with close-ups. So he understands how to do all that. But I really wanted the script to be one that was deserving of the legacy of characters that we have, over the 165 films that we have. And it's a long film. Um, just right now, I'm not going to say how long, but it's a long film. And it's one of those, honestly, if it's one that we don't show publicly, that we just share among our friends, I'm okay with that. Because this was never about getting the most views, because my films never really get a lot of views. This was about sharing an experience with people who stuck it out, um, over the course of 11 years, with a fat guy in a Star Trek uniform and a cell phone, you know, and has watched me on my journey as a guy that nobody believed in, to a dad and a father showing his son how to do these things. And at the heart of it, like, it's a real passing of the torch between me and him, and watching him grow. Um, and I'm very proud of the movie. Of course, there's a lot of inspiration, like I said, from Picard season 3. Um, but yeah, Dan Braylon says, I'm looking forward to seeing it all slapped together. No, and that's the thing, Dan. Like, honestly, like I said, Dan did, I'd say, probably 95% of the CGI shots in there. I had a couple of other friends that asked if they could um, do some CGI shots, do some visual effects in there. And, I've never been one to say no. If somebody wants to do something, I always try to figure out, where's appropriate or what to do. But honestly, this film it wouldn't be anywhere near um, what I wanted if it wasn't for Dan. Like, I want to say you came through for me on that, but that again, that sounds self-serving and high and mighty. You really made this film that next level. Um, and that's, I can't speak highly enough for. I mean, I can't speak highly enough for what you did for me on this film, man. You know, I can't. I can't wait to show everybody. I can't wait to see the whole film itself. I can't wait till we're done at the studio, and then I can be like, okay, I don't have to put on this damn uniform. you know, um, you know. Daniel says I have money on Idril and Blubbits. We'll see, man. We'll see. We need to get Mitchell that phaser back. The one that he's known to have. That real campy phaser that he has. Dan Braylon says, thank you, means a lot of love went into those scenes. No, and that's the thing. Like, I like I said, the 5% of CGI shots that weren't you, um, like it was those were my friends that asked, to be, hey, can I do a shot? I want to do this. Hey, if you're not going to be around, I kind of want to do that, and again, I never like to tell people no, and because it's like how often you get to work with some people, um, so I tried to limit or grab what I could, um, and some people, because again, like how often you get to work with you know uh, some people, but you you built a ship for me, you know, and that's something like this dude, like to anyone, Dan Braylon built a ship for me that I had, and this goes back to the final episode of my fan films. I had built a Lego ship when I was in the third grade or second grade. I think it was second grade. Um, and when Royce was old enough to play with Legos, like I taught Royce how to build that same ship. And I asked Dan if he could build that ship CGI wise, and he did it. And I don't know how much of a pain in the ass it would be, but it's so not Star Trek because it's all blocky and it's a fucking Lego, Um, but it looks so fucking cool. And of course and it's just like with my actors. I told him, I said, hey man, however you want to do it, to make it Star Trek-ish in your own way, as long as it looks like the Lego ship, you know. Um, but that's the type of guy that Dan is, and that like doing 95% of the CGI and building that ship, and like the things we get to do, like I'm so excited to show you guys, because again, when I'm like, hey, I need this, he's like, well, how do you want it? I'm like, I don't care, you tell me. Because who am I to sit there and tell the cook how to change his recipe, and that's, who am I to tell this CGI guy, this master of CGI, how to do his stuff, like I'm just like, however you want to do it, or I'll be like, hey, I'm inspired by this, and he's like, I don't know if I can make that work. Let me do it this way. Okay, however you want to do it, um I love that. I love that. He says, that was fun. Yeah, I bet it was. Like it was such a great thrill to see that, because it's better than how I imagined it when I was a kid. And Dan says, glad you liked it. I did my best. No, you did fucking great. Honor honor to build that for you and your boy. Yeah, I'm honored to build that for your boy. I'm glad. Royce loves it, especially in the final episode when you see the ship go into warp. And I use that same shot for this film because again, like I really I believe use everything you have. So I reuse that same shot for one of the scenes. At least I think we do. Because I really love that warp effect you have for it. Um, but anyway, like I said, I'm getting jibber jabber, and I got to go back to work. All of you that know that I love to say 15 times I got to go, and then I don't. This time I do got to go. But anyway, all of you guys that joined me, thank you very much. All of you that are watching this on the rewind, thank you very much. And Friday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, watch Blue Nose, show some support, and for real, share the link. It's on our channel. And stop by and share it again on Friday, just to show just to show Sean just to show Sean some support. My God, that was a tongue twister. That was fucked up. I was like, oh man, I can't speak right. Um, but for real, there's nothing but love and respect to Sean, and I can't wait to see the film. I think it'll be good. With that being said, everyone, be genuine, be safe, and keep on geeking out, guys.